All right, welcome everyone to the Regen Network Community Update Call for June 23rd. For those of you who are new, we have these calls every 2 weeks. We've been bouncing back and forth. We had a little interlude where we were trying out Discord as our sort of venue of choice. We're back here on Zoom because of the ease of recording and getting it up onto YouTube for people who miss the call. So as usual, I will try my best to get through the news in about 15 minutes or less, and then open it up to conversation and questions and interaction and dialogue. I'm joined here by Dan, our community lead, who will be taking us through a couple of the slides as well. And yeah, we're gonna rock and roll. Okay, that's fun.
Oh, I think that was our first Zoom bomb.
I think so. Shall I just remove him? I did tweet about this, so it may be, it could be.
Yeah, I would just remove that user.
Just, yeah, all right, I'll do that.
Meow!
Ciao. And you know what? I'm gonna go delete that tweet too. Kind of a pain in the butt, but boom. Okay, sorry folks for the brief. We don't usually tweet our delete. All right. It's always a challenge to like get the right public forum, get it recorded, and keep people from Zoom bombing us. So here we go. So as I was saying,
we're still seeing your tweet window, Gregory.
Oh, sorry about that. There we go.
All right.
So community dev call. Let's get rocking and rolling. I'll be about 15 minutes of walking us through the new news. So here we go. All right, so we've had a bunch of activity on Regen Ledger, lots of governance stuff going on. We had two big initial votes, proposal 1 and 2, to enable transfers and enable IBC. So Regen Network is now communicating with the Cosmos Hub and with Osmosis natively via inter-blockchain communication protocol. You can see the stats here. We actually had enormous voter turnout. I was actually flipping through Kepler and just looking at other blockchains voting turnout, because Kepler is a multi-chain wallet. And so you can go and see Iris and Sif Chain and Cosmos Hub. And I am so impressed with our community's vote turnout. So rock on, everybody, for engaging. There's going to be more governance proposals. I think there's a lot moving on with the Liquidity Bootstrapping event, the airdrop and all this stuff. But as things settle down over the next week or so, I would expect some more governance proposals to start moving before the end of the month, probably. So stay tuned. And of course, if you've got a proposal that you would like to engage with, best thing to do is to go to the discourse forum, forum.regen.network, and sort of, yeah, socialize what you're thinking. So there's a few conversations happening over there. So now I just want to spend a little bit of a moment. The team here is celebrating. We're in the midst of the Liquidity Bootstrapping event on Osmosis, which is a huge deal. So there's a permissionless, yeah, public sale essentially underway on the Osmosis DEX that is being pulled off by our community. So we have several sort of leading community members who have done liquidity provision. This is the interface. I just screenshotted this, so you can just go. It's a trading pair between Atoms and Regen underway right now. So a little bit of just detail on this. This LBP is going to be running for the next 5 days. So it started now. It's running until the 28th of June. R&D Inc. isn't doing this offering, as I noted. It's sort of a community-run offering. And just a little bit about the liquidity bootstrapping mechanism. The price, this is sort of like public, permissionless, and ape-proof. And you know, those things in sort of the crypto world are oftentimes at odds, right? Because if you open it up to everyone, oftentimes people will sort of like jump in and pump the price and then maybe dump later. The way that this is set up is actually to create sort of a sustainable and stable price discovery mechanism that doesn't just get pumped up, but actually finds the right price equilibrium for the asset. And so there's a curve, and that curve actually starts high and goes low over the course of the sale, from the 23rd of June to the 28th of June. The price is going successively lower, and people are sort of like probably buying in at multiple places going down so that they ensure they get some regen, but they also sort of average their price down. And over time, we're creating a trading pair. And so all of the trading that's taking place, the folks doing liquidity provision are going to basically be maintaining the trading pair, and then other people, those of you who may have gotten in on the airdrop, those of you who may be token holders from the private sale or validators, you can start liquidity provision as soon as this liquidity bootstrapping event is over and we have price discovery. Then there can be multiple trading pairs on Osmosis and then on Gravity DEX. And that's how we're going to create sort of a sustainable pricing mechanism and deep liquidity so people can move in and out permissionlessly of the Regen staking token. Okay, so just kind of moving on through the news, I'm going to pass it over to Dan, and then we'll open it up for dialogue. So Dan, passing it over to you.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, I hope what Gregory said was helpful for everybody, especially I've been getting a lot of questions in Telegram about, why should we purchase now? What's the whole point? And it really hope it helps that we're doing this price discovery. So, but with that being said, thank you, Gregory. And yeah, so we came out with, I think 3, maybe 4. I know that I've written 3 blogs just in the last week. One of them being the Althea token swap announcement. Regen and Althea, for those of you who don't know, have kind of formed this kind of partnership, and you can read all about it at that link there. The Regen airdrop announcement also launched last week, so you can read all about that. Unfortunately, during this call, the airdrop registration is already finished. It ended, was it yesterday? About 12 hours ago or so. But yeah, you can go ahead, and if you'd like to learn about kind of the way we did it, you can read that post right there. And then of course, the whole exciting thing that's happening now, our liquidity bootstrapping pool announcement also went up, and yeah, there's the link for it. So the LBP announcement has some links to other blog posts that were written by some of the active community members that are active in the LBP. So I recommend reading that and at least going to those links and learning about what this price discovery, what the LBP, what that all means. So yeah, that's the blogs. If you could go to the next slide, please. Yeah, so as I mentioned, the airdrop registration window is now finished. So here we're for sure we'll be transferring or performing the airdrop before the end of the LBP, but I have gotten pretty much all the information that I need now, so I just need to do a little bit of work, hand it off to my teammate, and then we should be able to get that processed in the next couple of days. And yeah, Greg, some people were asking about the privacy policy for Synapse, so Gregory went ahead and put that in the slide here. So for those of you interested in that, please go ahead and click that link, and it'll download the PDF for you.
All right, thanks, Dan.
You're welcome.
All right, just a quick note. I know people are probably going to start thinking about, community members are probably going to start thinking about, am I going to LP? Am I going to stake? Am I going to swap? what am I going to do now that sort of trading is enabled and transfers are enabled and everything is really live right now, at least in terms of people entering and exiting as stakers, as people who are securing and governing the blockchain as far as that's involved. So right now, the current staking rewards, according to Kepler, are about 34.5% APY. We are going to be announcing a yield farming program for Osmosis and then Gravity Dex to follow. So stay tuned to that. And yeah, that program is going to be distributing 2.5 million Regen as yield farming incentives to support our liquidity providers so that there is healthy liquidity on the dexes. So with that, as always, you can go check out the public Notion roadmap for up-to-date information about the progress of the team and the ecosystem on all fronts. And there's a great resource in the community calendar link here if you'd like to add that to your calendar of choice that has these calls and other community calls that are hosted throughout. So there's oftentimes science calls for the science community. I think we're going to start seeing some land steward calls pop up. There's working groups on Amazonian carbon credits and indigenous community staking DAO participation, all sorts of stuff going on that is available in that calendar. So with that, I am going to stop my share, and yeah, thanks for hanging with the quick presentation of all the news. Lots of exciting things going on, and yeah, open it up if people have questions or comments or just pieces that you'd like to discuss here. All right, so I think it's maybe people are just too excited. It might be fun. I mean, I imagine everybody's already done this, but why don't I just go do a quick screen share about so check it out. This is Osmosis right here. So this is the liquidity bootstrapping pool. You can all sort of see the price right now is at $3.63 for like that's the average price. It's actually denominated in atoms. So of a Regen token. And if we sort of shift back over here, you'll see like it started out at like 460. It's dropping pretty quick along this curve, and it's going to start to even out as we go. And so, people can sort of generate their strategy if you're interested in participating in the liquidity bootstrapping event based on the understanding that there is sort of a curve that makes it more expensive to get in first, but you're sort of playing chicken with the rest of the market. If people buy all the tokens, then you're not going to get them. So, just sort of like conceptually, that's how the mechanism is working here.
Gregory, do you mind maximizing your browser? It's just with all the windows and everything, it's kind of hard to see half the screen.
Oh,
yeah, or right there's two. Yeah, in the just
are
like
you seeing
in
everything?
the middle, just because I've got the rest of the chat kind of on the side there. Yeah.
Oh,
I can move the window over. I can see it now.
You should only see, just a second. Let me just make sure I'm just sharing that.
There we go.
Maybe I was sharing my whole screen. Sorry about that. The million windows that I keep open. So yeah, that's all she wrote. You can connect wallet. You can just send Atom directly over from the if you have Atoms over in the Cosmos Hub, you can just go over to assets and you can deposit Cosmos directly from a blockchain, or if you've been, member of the ecosystem and maybe you've got other Cosmos ecosystem native tokens, you can just deposit straight in and swap and then move over and participate in the LBP, which is up in the LBP pool here, and you just click on it and you can swap tokens. So there we are. It's that simple, folks. It's pretty exciting. All right. Yeah, I'll take a pause. We've been chatting about, there's a couple of other things that are on my mind with this group of people. I see a few fun folks on. I'm just going to take a pause and see if there's, questions, comments, ideas that anybody wants to share.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a question and just say hi. My name is Bronwyn. I'm in Australia and it's hideously late. And this is probably going to be it's like nearly 4 a.m. But I started, so I had a long chat to Will Saz at some point. I'm a lawyer, kind of a lawyer. I'm not particularly interested in governance side of this, but I'm not a blockchain expert, so I'm still getting my head around it. But one of the things that Will mentioned, and I also listened to your recent podcast, Gregory, on Simone Cicero, that conversation. So that's about the sum total of my really detailed knowledge. But one of the things Will mentioned, and it might be completely separate from this, but was I'm trying to think of the language of this, the opportunity to give some of the tokens to like not monetized. I don't know, I forget how it's like stakeholder allocation of the tokens as a kind of community welfare side of, is that a separate process, or does that even make sense?
They're definitely deeply interrelated, but they're separate. So
it is separate.
So Regen Foundation is currently managing a process around the distribution of the community staking DAO allocation,
right.
which
That's
is
what it was.
Which is 30% of the total circulating supply.
Exactly. That's what I was curious
and
about.
So so that is something that is near and dear to all of our hearts, and we're really excited to make it possible to have Indigenous people, landscapes, whole landscapes that have rights of nature frameworks, land stewards, scientists, all sort of anchoring, securing, and governing Regen Ledger alongside other token holders, and being able to accrue block rewards and use those to fund their projects, essentially. So that's underway, and our amazing executive director Ravathi over at Regen Foundation is leading that up with a team, and R&D Inc. Supports that as well, and so there's sort of like ecosystem collaboration on sort of creating that. What we've been talking about right now is the Liquidity Bootstrapping event is essentially bringing the staking and governance tokens to the marketplace and getting price discovery and creating liquidity, so that as communities sort of are endowed, as we like to say, endowed with staking tokens, there is a way for them to sell off staking rewards and pay for land stewardship, or maybe forest conservation, or restake them and have kind of a growing nest egg to help them manage, potentially collateralize. So that's all a fundamental part of the trust model and the governance model of Regen Network, which is essentially having that incentive alignment and governance alignment amongst people who have kind of been excluded from sort of securing, governing, and creating legitimacy around the existing financial infrastructure, as well as the existing like carbon credit infrastructure and any of that. Mostly things are happening kind of in black boxes, disconnected from the places where people are actually on the ground doing the work. So we're definitely trying to flip that script.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
So if that graph we showed us went haywire, would you intervene?
We can't intervene. It's programmatic. This is the
Right.
beauty of a decentralized protocol. There's really no way for it to go haywire. You know,
I just mean if it doesn't kind of, if there's people speculating in ways that you didn't really want to encourage.
well, all that means is that the price of regen will be higher. So if all of it is bought really quickly, then the price of then that's the market signaling that the price of regen, that people want it a lot, and so the price of regen will be higher. So that's that's what would happen then, or it will sort of come down and the price of regen will be less high, and then so there's we're not controlling the market, but we sort of have this algorithmic ability to make it unlikely that people are intentionally of their own going to try to pump the price up in order to sell it. Because if you bought it, if you think about a sort of a speculator coming in and buying a big chunk, like a huge chunk really high, and they're paying a premium, and then it's sort of going down after they buy it, then in order for them to manipulate the market further and get the price back up higher than they already paid, it's just like it doesn't really work very well, as opposed to the price being very low at the beginning and them purchasing it, and through purchasing it just driving the price up. That makes sense. So there's it's a mechanism that has been created and worked quite well for community price discovery. So there is sort of market mechanisms and market forces, but kind of being modulated through the protocol.
Great. Well done.
Little by little. It's an exciting day, though. We're all pretty stoked. So I'd actually love to just take a moment. I see Mircea and Anil are both on, and I know the two of you have been really active in running the relayers that are connecting Regen and Osmosis and Cosmos Hub and Osmosis. And I'd love it if you guys wanted to just share anything with the community about, the relayer part of the infrastructure and the protocol that's, sort of running right now, because it's pretty cool. And it'd be cool if you guys want to share.
So maybe it's some early time for Regen, but if you are trying to deposit for Osmosis chain, there could be some delays because of the packet relaying issues with the relayer, but your funds will be safe. So either they will be relayed sometime later, or else if there is a timeout, they will be sent back to your account. So don't panic about your tokens. So it's IBC is a secure protocol, and relayers, there is nothing that relayers can do. So your funds will be safe anyways. So because this happened on multiple other networks, people are a bit worried about their tokens, because they sent tokens to Osmosis, but it didn't appear in Osmosis, and they weren't appearing on their accounts as well. But once the timeout is reached, your tokens will be back to your account. And
so my understanding, Anil, is that what's been happening is that there's like a gas price issue essentially that's creating some timeouts. So people's transactions could get stuck for a little bit, but they'll either make it through or be refunded. And that happened to me at the very beginning. I sent a transaction like right off the bat from the hub to Osmosis, and it was sort of caught in limbo for a couple of hours, but it was refunded. So it was good to just sort of see it all working. And and then all of my transactions since then have been just lightning fast. So it's exciting to see it all working in production.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're coming up towards the top of the hour. Unless anybody has, any parting questions or things that they'd like to say, we will conclude the call for now and reconvene in 2 weeks. And in the meantime, happy dexing. if you haven't already checked it out, go play around with Osmosis. It's pretty fun.
I just
Tom.
want to say congratulations. It's looking awesome. Love the liquidity bootstrapping pool you guys are pulling together. It's just really innovative, and wishing you guys lots of success with it.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, great to see you. Thanks for hopping on. Another
For sure.
another Aussie in the crazy middle of the night there. Tom, are you down under right now, or are you have you been traveling?
Yeah, we're stuck on an island. You know, it's not too bad. But all good. But yeah, this is just super exciting. What's happening here with Regen Network? You know, there's just expecting so many good things to. You know, this is the start of you know, something amazing. The community that you're building. So yeah, it's looking on with keen eyes to see the next steps, the price discovery model, and how it all plays out. And you know, it's just going to be great to see the community grow.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. Mircea, it looks like you're back on. If you want to share any IBC relayer, drop any IBC relayer wisdom on us.
I'm not sure what Anil already said, but if
he gave us a little bit of an overview of just you know, some of the timeout issues, but you know, the fact that funds are safe. They'll either be sort of like refunded, or you just take a little bit for the packet to be relayed, and that's about it.
Yeah, so that's basically it. And we're also, this is the first time relayers have been run in production, so we're still fiddling around with gas prices and fees, which turns out nobody knew exactly how it's going to work. So, but yeah, the funds are never in danger, because the IBC transaction, as Anil said, just gets reversed if it's stuck for too long.
Yeah, it's a totally non-custodial, permissionless system, which is sort of the beauty of it. So either like it goes through or it doesn't go through, and there's like fee hangups maybe as that's all getting sorted out. But
yeah. And that's just this was in my opinion, was a great launch, considering how fast Osmosis was upon us, and the fact that it wasn't really ever tested in production. This was amazing. So it's only going to be better.
I just have to say, like, the fact that several $1 million moved from Regen to Osmosis via IBC to create this liquidity bootstrapping pool, and that happened permissionlessly and in seconds, is like mind-blowing. And now people are able to move permissionlessly from the hub to Osmosis and, you know, trade for Regen tokens. I'm struggling to express and sort of like share in Twitter or the channels or blogs or whatever, like how mind-blowing this all is, really.
It is a wonder to behold. All right, I have to drop off too. Nice talking to you guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Mircea. Bye. All right. Thanks, everybody. We should wrap it. It's 1 past the hour. Thank you all for another great community dev update. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you all in 2 weeks. And yeah, stay safe out there. There's lots of weird scammers, and have fun on Osmosis, and you know, see you all on the interwebs.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Woo, thanks everyone.